Can Askren beat Jake Paul? What do you think, Coach? One of the most creative wrestlers in MMA and tough mindset versus a 24-year-old who is learning boxing for the last 3 years. That's from Mayur Tomar. Well, Mayur, that's a great question. Okay, for those of you who don't know, this is a YouTuber. His name is Jake Paul, and he's fighting Ben Askren. Now, please put in the comment section, what are the rounds? How many rounds and what are the time limit? Is it 2-minute rounds or 3-minute rounds? And how many rounds is there? So Jake Paul is this famous YouTuber. He's hyping up a fight with Ben Askren. Ben Askren, of course, in an MMA fight would just maul him to death, just destroy him. But this is not an MMA fight. This is a boxing fight. This is a fight where no wrestling will be allowed. So it's 8 rounds. Thank you very much, Joan Kenneth. But how many minutes? I'm going to assume it's 2 minutes unless somebody says otherwise. 3 minutes. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Look, I think Ben Askren wins. Here's why. Okay, I've seen Jake Paul's last fight. He knocked out some guy with a couple overhand rights, stunned him a few times, dropped him. But here's what Jake Paul is not sure. I don't think he knows what he's getting into. Number one, Ben Askren is a wrestler, yes, and his forte is not striking. We all know that. He's not the greatest striker. Okay? But he's been in there with killers. He's been in there with like legitimately dangerous human beings. One of them being Robbie Lawler, Douglas Lima. I can go on and on. The list is super long. Okay? He's been in there with the real killers. And I know he didn't use boxing, but he took shots from these guys. Okay, not every one of them got to lay a shot on him. But if you remember the fight with Robbie Lawler had him on the floor, had Ben Askren on the floor, and he laid into him some serious amount of damage. Pop, 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 4, 5, 6, 7 shots maybe. I can't remember. But it was some serious shots. And Ben Askren, never wavering, never panicking. Gets his under it, gets back, locks up to Robbie, brings him down on the mat. Just keeps the computer is still working. He didn't panic. He's a true competitor. I don't know how many wrestling matches he has, but I'm sure it's in the hundreds. Okay, the guy was an Olympian. Don't forget, competition is his life. Okay, now if you ask a wrestler, hey, can you knit this for me? No, he doesn't know how to knit. Okay, but he has boxed before. I think two people are making too much of a big deal out of this. They're saying, oh, he's a wrestler, he's going into boxing. Yes, there's some truth to that, but don't forget, there's the other side of the coin. The man's been training MMA. He's not crazy. He's been learning how to strike. For let's call it 15 years he's been striking. Let's call it 10 years. Let's be very reserved here. It's not only boxing offense that's the issue. I can guarantee you he takes a shot better than Jake. I can guarantee you that. I guarantee you that right now. So Jake's going to go in there, and the first 2-3 rounds, he's going to start dancing around. He's going to jab Askren. He's going to look all right. He's going to look good. Askren's going to hit him back, and it's going to be a give and take. But here's what Jake doesn't know. Askren has proven he's got a credible chin. Okay? Now, I'm going to argue against myself in a second here. I'm going to play devil's advocate, but just give me a second, okay? Because I know there are a lot of good counterpoints. Ben Askren's going to maul him in the clinch. He's going to dirty box him. Ben Askren's going to get warned by the referee. And it ain't going to matter. The referee's going to try to break him up. And Ben Askren's always going to dirty box him. It's always going to be the same. What are they going to do? Disqualify Ben Askren? Hey, then you ruined the whole show. This is your co-main event or your main event. I'm not sure what it is. I'm assuming it's the main event. You're not going to end the main event. Everybody's paying to see these fights. Nobody's going to end the main event because of a little excessive clinching and dirty boxing. Now, you would do that with a fight that's not so important. That's something on the preliminaries, on the earlier card. But you'll never do that with the main event. You don't want to be the referee who disqualified a fighter for clinching, Okay, of course, if Ben Askren takes him down and chokes him out, okay, of course, then the referee would have no choice. But a little bit of dirty boxing, a little bit of bending the rules, we see it time and time again in main events. The referees, we talked about McGregor against Khabib. How many fouls did McGregor have in the first 2-3 rounds? Grabbing the shorts, putting his toes in the fence, repeatedly being told by the referee and just completely ignoring the referee, kneeing the down opponent, like just doing everything he wants. But what are you going to do? You're going to cancel the fight? There's about 1 million people around the world that are going to be really upset. And don't forget the people in the stadium. Don't forget the people in the stadium. You're not that far away from them. They might climb over that gate. There's not enough security to protect you. Okay? So, I think Askren's going to rough him up. Askren's going to step on his feet. He's going to bump knee to knee. He's going to throw Jake Paul on the floor. He's going to pull on his head. Jake Paul ain't ready for this. In my opinion, he ain't ready for this. And then it's going to get it's going to become a telephone booth fight. They're going to be Ben Askren is going to put him in a corner. He's going to shove him. He's going to maul him. He's going to push him. He's going to put his elbows in his face, in his chest, and he's just going to find him that way. I doubt Jake Paul picks Ben Askren apart from the outside. Just like jab, jab, stick and move, jab, jab, stick and move. That takes experience. Could happen, but that would be the best case scenario for Jake Paul. Okay, no, sorry. Best case scenario is Jake Paul lands a crazy right hand and knocks Ben Askren out. Now here's the counter argument to all this. If somebody out there said, yes, coach, Ben Askren has a great chin before he got knocked out by Masvidal. Yes, he had a great chin. We know that because Robbie Lawler laid in some serious shots and Ben Askren took him well and he kept fighting and he didn't look dazed, didn't look hurt. He just kept fighting. But did Masvidal ruin Ben Askren's career with that knee? Sometimes it takes one really bad KO. Now, I don't think so. Okay, I don't think so. No, you never know. Like if you tell me tomorrow and after a fight that if I see Jake Paul knock out Ben Askren with a jab, like a little fluffy jab, and I'll be like, okay, maybe he lost his chin. You know, maybe it's past. He's expired. His chin has expired. It does happen, guys. I've seen fighters with great chins, and one day they just take a small shot, and unfortunately, nobody knows the answer to that. Nobody knows the cure to these things, and not that I know of. Okay, and I've asked around. Okay, I've been around for many, many years. So I think, barring the exception that Askren's chin is finished, Askren's going to maul him. It's not going to be pretty. It's going to be a dirty fight. It's going to be like seesaw battle a little bit early on, and then all of a sudden Jake's going to fatigue, and Ben Askren's going to be all over him. Is he going to get a TKO, or is he just going to maul him, throw him on the floor, ragdoll him? Maybe he even picks up and slams Jake once, twice. It wouldn't surprise me, guys. It would not surprise me because Ben Askren probably doesn't have a clause that if he gets disqualified, he doesn't get paid. Okay? In my opinion, Ben Askren doesn't care if he gets disqualified. In my opinion, I don't want to talk for the man. I'm not saying he's looking to get disqualified, but if he picked up and slammed Jake on his head, I don't think he'd be like, oh, why did I teach him a lesson? No, I think Ben Askren's the type of guy, he's going to teach him a lesson. He's going to pull on his head. He's going to step on his feet. He's going to step on his feet. He's going to step on his feet and shove him and like off balance him. It's going to be a mauling, especially if that ring is small. Now, when I saw Mike Tyson fight Roy Jones Jr., the ring was a lot smaller than I thought. I cannot believe that Roy Jones Jr.'s team would allow Roy Jones to fight Mike Tyson in such a small ring. It was very unprofessional for two high caliber fighters to fight in such a small ring. I think it was great for Mike Tyson. But if I was coaching and managing Roy Jones Jr., I would have never allowed such a small ring. Never, not in a million years. I would be like, guys, add another 5 feet to that ring. At least. But if that ring is very small, if it's the same ring Tyson fought Roy Jones Jr. in, and from what I understand, it's the same organization, I don't know. I really think that it's going to make Jake Paul's job a lot harder. How is he going to pick and poke, stick and move, and stay away from Askren? Once they lock up, guys, I guarantee you Jake's battery is going to start to drain. I know Jake wrestled. I've seen his videos. I've seen he wrestled back in the day. Guys, it doesn't matter. It's just going to be more fun for Ben. That's what I got, guys. I think Ben's going to win. Unless he gets hit with a freak shot and he gets knocked out because his chin is bad. I would still say, look, that's a Masvidal. Masvidal won that fight for Jake Paul. I doubt it, though. I think his chin is going to be fine and he's going to maul him.